Baseball's non-waiver trade deadline is a little more than a month away. For some teams, their path to July 31st is clear. The playoff favorites, Yankees, Astros and Red Sox, will look to add to their Major League roster in an effort to improve their October prospects. The also-rans, Orioles, Royals, and Marlins, know what they're doing, too, trading away their assets to improve their future prospects, if the price is right. Mets will consider deadling Jacob deGrom, Noah Syndergaard. Some teams, though, exist in a more uncertain state. The 2018 season hasn't gone quite as expected, for whatever reason. Injuries happen, players underproduce, bounces go awry. Some teams came into spring training expecting to be a contender, but instead they've been mired around the .500 mark as July approaches. So now what? Let's look at teams with decisions to make. All stats and records are as of the start of play Thursday. Los Angeles Angels standings, 41-40, 4th place in AL West, 12.5 games out, 9 out of wild card spot. The situation the past few weeks have been a disaster. After a win in Minnesota on June 9, the Angels were 9 games over .500 and 3.5 behind the Astros and Mariners, who are tied atop the AL West. Since then, they're 4-12, and you see their playoff predicament above. Sure, we're still in June, but this is a franchise just barely hanging on to the idea of being a legitimate postseason contender. They aren't going to catch the Astros, and they would need the Mariners to fall apart to jump into the second wildcard spot. The Yankees or Red Sox will claim the first WC spot. Heck, at the moment, the Angels are 2 games behind the A's in their division. Mike Trout is having arguably his best season, which is hard to believe but true, and still the Angels are floundering. Zach Cozart just landed on the DL for the rest of the season, the latest blow in a series of never-ending injury issues this season. They're hoping for good news on Shohei Ohtani, but if they keep losing it might not even matter. What now? This is a franchise that's made the playoffs just once in Mike Trout's MLB career, and expectations were sky-high this spring after Ohtani's arrival. But unless they start winning lots of games soon, the decision will be made for them. It would be incredibly hard to justify trading prospects from a system that's just now getting back to respectability after years of being a bottom-5 system in terms of talent. If a division title was in reach, sure. But to trade away legit prospects for an outside chance at a spot in a one-game playoff? Hard pass. The true story of the best pitching performance you've never heard of. Colorado Rockies standings, 38-42, 4th place in NL West, 8 games out, 5.5 out of second wildcard spot. The situation the Rockies were in first place in the NL West when June started, but an 8-16 record so far this month has sent them tumbling down the standings. Remember, this is a club that earned an NL wildcard spot last season, brought back pretty much every significant piece of 2017's club and added back of the bullpen pieces Wade Davis and Brian Shaw. This was a team intent on getting back to October. What now? In an ideal world, the Rockies' pitchers will improve over the next couple of weeks. They've been relatively healthy, they've needed only 5 starters all season, each has made 16 starts, but 3 of those starters have ERAs north of 5.00. Barring some dramatic turn in either direction, this feels like a franchise that's not likely to either go all in on 2018 or engage in a sell-off. Only 3 contributors, DJ LeMahieu, Adam Ottavino and Carlos Gonzalez, are set to become free agents after the season. San Francisco Giants standings, 42-39, 3rd place in NL West, 4.5 games out, 2 out of second wildcard spot. The situation the Giants have watched a parade of veterans head to the disabled list this year. Madison Bumgarner, Johnny Cueto, Evan Longoria, Jeff Samardzija and Hunter Strickland all have measured absences in weeks, not days. But instead of collapsing like they did in 2017, the Giants persevered and are above .500, only a couple of games out of a playoff spot. Bumgarner has been brilliant in his return, and end dates are in sight for the other veterans currently on the DL. Hope remains. What now? They'll wait to see what happens when the veterans return. There is this wild card, though. Bumgarner is set to become a free agent after the 2019 season. The club holds a no-brainer $12 million option for next year. There are not many no-one-type pitchers available on the trade market this season, which means that if the Giants would decide to make Bumgarner, a lefty with arguably the best postseason track record in MLB history, a .25 ERA in 36 World Series innings, they would be able to bring back a huge haul. A franchise-altering haul of prospects and young players. With a lineup rotation full of 30-somethings, that's a scenario the front office should certainly at least consider. St. Louis Cardinals standings, 42-37, third place in NL Central, 4 games out, 1 out of second wildcard spot. The situation: you would be hard-pressed to find a more Jekyll and Hyde team in baseball this season. At times, they play like a team destined for the cellar. But they have stretches when they play like World Series contenders, like when they recently won 4 in a row against the Brewers and Indians by a combined score of 26-6. This is a franchise that's accustomed to playing in October but has missed the postseason 2 years in a row. With their farm system full of potential impact players, it's hard to imagine the Cardinals would actually turn into sellers, barring a complete collapse. So why are they here? What now? This is the decision the front office has to make. How big are they willing to go on the trade market? To put it another way, are they going after Manny Machado? The free agent to be would be an ideal fit. His bat would help anchor the middle of the lineup, along with Jose Martinez and a resurgent Marcell Ozuna. Defensively, the Cardinals have enough versatile pieces to make a fit work. But the team that trades for Machado isn't spending the prospect cost it will likely take just to reach October. The team that trades for Machado feels like he's the piece that helps them win a World Series. Does the Cardinals front office feel like that's the case for the 2018 Cardinals? Or do they try to find other ways to supplement the team before the trade deadline? More time to scoreboard watch. Not yet. MLB players say Oakland A's standings, 43-38, third place in L West, 10.5 games out, 7 out of second wildcard spot. The situation: the A's have won 9 of their past 11 games to climb ahead of the Angels in the division, and they're now the first team out of a wildcard spot. Though at 7 games back, they're still not necessarily close to that spot. The A's have a solid young core of players who are under control for several seasons. Is this one of those years they push in and make a run? What now? The A's tend to zig when people expect them to zag, so we don't claim to know exactly what this team will do over the next month. We do know that they'll do their best to exploit the market to the best of their ability, which means shopping for trade bargains while also seeing what free agent-to-be pieces like versatile veteran infielder Jed Lowrie, .842 ops, 13 homers, and reliever Santiago Casilla, 3.04 ERA in 21 games, would bring back, while also kicking the tires on reliable power producer Chris Davis, who will make well north of $10 million next year, his final arbitration-eligible season.